Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to We Don't Know Toots, the least educated and most opinionated music podcast on the internet. I am Rob, and once again I am joined by my co-host and my brother Steve. Steve, what's up?
What's up? Welcome back.
Today we got a nice hot platter of brand new Toots for you guys. And before we jump into the real meat and potatoes of everything, we're gonna dip our toes into one little side note of a new Toot. I don't know if y'all knew this, but Eminem just came out with a new track, a new single, and it's called Houdini. So we just wanted to glance over that before we really hopped into things. Steve, what do you think about Eminem's new song?
Well, as you can see from the beginning of the song, Paul sure didn't like it. That was the
friggin' Paul. He's always a buzzkill.
Yeah, freaking hate Paul, and he doesn't know Eminem's true talent. I thought the song was alright. It really sounds like a lot of his other music, so I feel like I don't thoroughly listen to Eminem. And
it had the same intro as what's the Eminem song? It's like, guess who's back again.
Isn't that
it's not real Slim Shady? No, it's not. It's guess who's back? Hey, I created a monster, but none of you want to see Shady no more. He's chopped liver. Oh, I can't. I had it before we started this. It's that song. It's that song from the I think the Eminem show. But yeah, it had the same intro, just a little different pitch.
Well, I knew that, but I'm just saying like how the song went. It just sounded like it would blend in well with a lot of his other albums. So if you like,
he definitely went back to the old Shady sound.
Yeah. So I feel like if you're an Eminem fan, you'll like this song.
Yeah, it's definitely catchy. It's almost kind of like a childish kind of sounding song. Like the music and everything, just a little like sounds like it could be on like a Wiggles episode or something.
Wiggles After Dark.
There was one point where he I'm sure you probably don't know all the lore to Megan Thee Stallion, and I know very little of it outside of this one part.
I don't know any.
But this there was a point like a year or two ago, she got shot in the foot by another rapper, Tory Lanez, and I don't know, I think he's going to prison now or something like that. But there was a part in the song where he said, what if I shouted out, or what if I hit up Megan Thee Stallion? Hold on, let me pull up the exact lyrics, because I saw on Twitter, people are calling it a diss, and it really wasn't. I think he was just making fun of her for getting shot, which is a very Slim Shady thing to do. Let's see here.
Well, he even roasts his kids in this one.
Yeah. He said, if I was to ask Megan Thee Stallion if she would collab with me, would I really have a shot at a feat? AKA a feature, but AKA getting shot in the feet, which I thought was hilarious. But of course, the Megan Thee Stallion fans on Twitter, seems like all Twitter is run by that general age group now, but everyone's like, oh, he just needed to name drop her to get popular again. It's like, no.
I don't think you understand who Eminem is, especially compared to Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion is popular in a very niche group of people, and then disliked or unknown by everyone else.
Exactly, and to say that he needs to name drop her to get famous is kind of way out of left field. I just thought that was hilarious, because like all of Twitter is like, what? Leave her alone. She's been through enough getting shot in the foot. But yeah, I thought that was funny. That was a very Slim Shady thing to do. So
yeah,
and then making fun of his kids, and it's all good. It's fun from start to finish.
Yeah. So the lyrics were all funny. Like I was reading through the lyrics, I'm like, this is all just classic Slim Shady nonsense, but like in a way that somehow works. That's how Eminem writes his music. It's just like, how is this popular? But I also get why it's popular.
And as far as Paul goes, Paul's his lawyer. He's had him in other skits, but yeah, he really went off on Paul in this one too. Had to go find it. Go ahead, Paul. Quit, snake ass prick. You male cross-dresser, fake ass bitch. I don't know any of Paul's lore, but if that's true, that's hilarious.
Yeah, sounds like Paul's got some serious lore. So maybe we should have studied up on that. But yeah, overall, don't need to spend Like,
Yeah.
there's not much more I can say.
That's
on it,
not
but
what we're here to talk about. I just
yeah,
thought it
we're
was
here.
a fun little song to bring up to start. But the real heart of the episode today, we're going to be talking about the brand new, or I mean, it's already been out for like a week at the time of this recording, but the newer Bring Me the Horizon album. First thoughts?
Overall, I really like the album. So
Yeah.
I feel like I've said on this podcast a couple times that I'm not much of a like, any screaming isn't usually my favorite kind of music.
You are not.
But overall, like, I still really enjoyed the song or the album. So even though there are plenty of songs with screaming in it, it's still just a really good album. Like, definitely gives me some of that Warped Tour, Bring Me the Horizon music.
Exactly. Yeah, I think old fans of Bring Me the Horizon will be happy with this one, as well as the new fans, because I mean, I don't know how much you've listened to all of Bring Me the Horizon discography, but they used to be a lot screamier, a lot more metalcore and emo sound than they are nowadays, like their last couple albums.
Never really listened to them that much outside of like the really popular ones, and then when Parasite Eve came out, I gave that whole album a listen to, and that was really good too.
Yeah.
So
before we jump into it, I don't know how much of this you noticed, but I also knew that before this album came out. So first of all, I didn't realize the album had come out until I texted you about it. I knew a new one was coming out, but I didn't know it was already like ready to come out.
yeah.
But they did advertise this with a lot of like sacrilegious, like anti-God stuff, and I know me and you both have religious upbringing and still have Christian beliefs and all that. So knowing that, starting this album, I kind of had like a Christian filter going into this, and they like, this is nothing new. Like, Bring Me the Horizon has always been pretty outspokenly anti-religious, and that was definitely the case on their old album too. So it was kind of hard to listen to this album without that filter on, but that's all I'm really gonna say in that regard. Like, just know that if you have any kind of Christian beliefs, there are some spots in this album that you're gonna go, not gonna. But I don't know how much of that you noticed. There was one, and I really only noticed it because they used this one specific lyric when they were advertising the release of the album. So I knew to watch for it, but that's all I'm going to say as far as like religion and everything. Just I don't want to like harp on it too much, but it is.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not the one I picked as my favorite. That would be like
I very much doubt that it is.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into it then, Rob.
Yeah, let's get into it. First track.
Just the best song that's ever written. Oh, OST Dream
Oh
Seeker,
yeah,
Rob,
well yeah, I
kind of
skipped over like I skipped over like the little intros and outros and all that.
Yeah, it just felt so unnecessary though to do that. It's literally 17 seconds of like just growing noise, and then the first song plays. I'm like, why I don't know. Like, that freaking artists think they're so.
They're artsy,
so special,
dude.
And so cool.
They're artsy.
Yeah. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I didn't put anything in my notes about any of the intro or the any of those interludes or anything, but Dream Seeker. Banger. 17-second banger.
Absolutely. If you want your life changed, that one. But leading into Utopia, Rob, give me your thoughts on Utopia.
Dude, I liked this one. I got like strong 4 Year Strong vibes from like that opening riff, that main riff that they keep repeating. Like that riff just sounds like 4 Year Strong, or like that general genre. Not quite Bring Me the Horizon genre, but adjacent.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, in what feels like classic Steven fashion, I think the first song on the album seems like my favorite song. So I feel like that's what happens on most of these album reviews, is the first song, like, heck yeah. And so
has that really been the case? That doesn't ring a bell, but it does sound like you.
Yeah, I'm really shallow. So, but yeah, it's not as heavy as a lot of the other songs, but I thought it was a fantastic intro song. Like, first song on the album, really good start.
Yeah,
to,
it's definitely a good start to the album for sure. It's more melodic, kind of teases you into the rest of the album a little bit. It was one of my favorites off the album. Like probably top 3 or 4 for me.
I'm what you would call a fan of this song.
And that leads us into Kool-Aid, which, like I said, with the spiritual lens on it, I had my doubts going into this because, you know, drinking the Kool-Aid, that's like a religious reference. But overall, I didn't think that there was like anything horribly sacrilegious about this. So
yeah,
it did. The message overall kind of sounded like, you know, possibly breaking free from religious upbringing, but there's a lot of different ways to spin it. Like I said, I was just listening with that thought in mind, but yeah, I did like this song.
I thought it sounded a lot like Parasite Eve from the last album.
You think so?
Like there's like, it has this build up and then that initial breakdown, and just the style and kind of how they did like the voice just really sounded really similar to Parasite Eve. So still, I love Parasite Eve. That was probably the best song off that album in my opinion. But this song, disagree? What was your pick from that album?
I like Teardrops. That was my favorite.
Okay, well, that's my second favorite, so I'll give you that. It was a good one. So, but yeah, so overall, I thought it was an all right song. For me, it was more mid-table, you know, for me, if I'm ranking all of them. Yeah, right there in the middle. So
yeah, I liked it. I thought the chorus was really catchy. That intro into that second verse where they just start out with the screams is so jammable. Like, I was just headbanging all the time. Then they had like, I don't know if you've noticed this or had the same thought as me, but I feel like a lot of their new music, at least like especially this album, but like at least like the last 2 or 3 albums, they've had like a lot of hyperpop kind of sounds, like mixed in with their metal. And like they had that like hyperpop breakdown with a really short little kind of a little solo to it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that breakdown. That was really good.
They have that in a couple of these songs. There's like little hyperpop clips, and then they have like a song that is pretty hyperpoppy too. So,
but it works. It works for them. They make it work.
They do it quite well. But yeah, Kool-Aid, not bad. But I will say sipping the Kool-Aid, I guess, is kind of religious now, but it came from that Johnstown kind of cult.
Yeah, it was a cult thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, still, I can see it definitely has more just religious connotations now. But I didn't really catch that, so I'm kind of curious. I'm ready to see. It sounds like you caught it at one point, but maybe I just didn't listen to the lyrics deep enough. I was just kind of reading them. Not sometimes. I guess I didn't really process.
Well, like I said, I mainly only caught it because of the advertising, so I knew it was coming.
Oh, dude, random sidetrack here. You see like how all these songs have random capital letters in it?
Yeah.
Were you able to find that meant anything?
I thought about trying to sit down and like decipher it, like write down all the caps and write down all the small letters, but like just glancing through some of the songs, I was like just putting together random words. I was like, I don't think there's anything there, but there might be. I don't know.
I tried. I went through and tried getting all the letters, and it doesn't spell anything right away, and I didn't feel like doing a word scramble and trying to figure out what all the words mean. So I
think they're just doing a cool trendy thing where like like songs like in all lower caps or songs with like a period at the end. It's like, this is not how normal people title a song.
Yeah, once again, we're so artsy. Look at us having a 17-second song, and then all of our words are half misspelled in random capitals. Ooba hooba. But yeah, so the top 10 statues that cried blood.
Intense, very metal name for a song. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I just said, like, my thoughts were not really my favorite overall, but it has like a little retro video game sound that they used in some of the breakdowns in this song. So more like a little bit of hyper pop sound. And I like those little breakdowns that they used it for.
Yeah. This one wasn't one of my favorites, but I did enjoy it. I really liked the lyrics in the second verse. I'm just going to read them. It says, "Someone put a gun to our hearts and paint the walls with our love. There's a world of hurt in us, and maybe once we spill our guts, we can stitch ourselves back up." Which I just thought was like a badass old school emo line. Like that felt like straight out of like a 2008 Black Veil Bride song or something.
Yeah, that gun to our hearts and paint the wall with our love, dude. That is
intense.
So 2000s emo.
Yeah.
I missed that lyric. I did not.
Yeah, I thought first time I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, I got you, badass.
They're feeling something.
They
have feelings. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't have a bunch of notes on it just because it wasn't my favorite. It wasn't one of my favorites.
Right. Yeah. Neither was the next one, Limousine. I wasn't.
Limousine.
Wasn't a huge fan of that. Yeah. Wasn't a huge fan of this one either. It not for any particular reason, just kind of a boring song. It did have like a cool sludgy, heavy emo sound to it, but it's one of their darker sounding songs off the album, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Darker, maybe.
The song was kind of like, I don't know, it was hit or miss for me. There were like parts of the song where I was like, this song's great, and then there were parts where I'm like, this song is kind of annoying. So like right before the like first chorus, I guess around like a minute 15, they just randomly try putting in like a little screamy thing that just has no point being there. It just totally interrupts the song. So it just felt like they're like, sometimes some of these songs I felt like they were just trying to force like screaming into it when it was so unnecessary and just made the song worse.
Yeah.
But so they had that, like the song was good, but then at the end, like the ending to the song, the last 30 seconds, is just like totally changes style and just starts into that screamy, gravelly sound that just doesn't match the song at all. And it just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like some of the songs really good, I thought, and then other parts of the song are just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So this isn't up there for me either.
What about Dark Side? Next one up, Dark Side.
This one, I also didn't really have like a lot of notes on, just because I thought this was like a really average song to me.
Really? I like this one. I like this one a lot.
Oh, really?
I thought the chorus was really catchy. The message was really intense. I mean, the whole album really is about being depressed and suicidal and blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah.
But like, I felt like this one, the lyrics were a little more relatable. At least, maybe not about, wanting to kill yourself or anything, but just like everyone goes through really dark, low points in their lives where they need someone to talk to. And I thought the chorus was really catchy. Like, it's a really good, catchy song about feeling sad.
I was going to say, like, is this Rob's cry for help, where he's like talking about how great this song about wanting to kill yourself is?
No. Chill out. Chill out, all our loyal fans.
Yeah.
There will be
Big
no
Daddy
suicide
Rob
tonight.
Is okay.
Big Daddy Rob is pushing through.
He finna make it. But yeah, I don't know. I listen to the song and I'm like, this just sounds like if this came up in my Discover Weekly, I would listen to it once and then be like, yeah.
I thought it was one of the better ones. Maybe not like top 5, but definitely not top 3. But I did enjoy the song. I liked it.
Well, I'm really sorry to have disappointed you in this way. So,
well, our views, when we do these, our views rarely line up. We almost never have almost never like, this was my favorite song. Oh, me too.
Which always surprises me, because you kind of formed my music taste. At least in the beginning, there was Rob's music taste.
That's true. But
which is kind of how it goes.
We've very much gone our different ways since then.
Yeah.
Gone down different paths in the music world.
I don't know. I feel like in our music leaks, though, at the end when it gives like the, your biggest fan thing, I feel like I'm usually getting a good amount of points from you.
Win has been my biggest fan every single time for every league we've done.
Alyssa's been mine somewhat often for a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm like exposing myself there to our circle of conspiracy. Alyssa's just keeping me at the top of all the music leagues. We're feeding each other points, but it's not what it is.
It sounds like that's what it is.
Anyways, how did you feel about the song featuring Under Oath? Under Oath, a bullet with my name on it. Or a bullet with my name on. That's all it is.
So, initially I got super excited because I was like, ooh, Under Oath and Bring Me the Horizon. Like, I haven't listened to Under Oath in a while. Like, I think they're still making music, but Under Oath used to be that band. Like, that was one of the first bands that I listened to that screamed really heavy and like had that really emo sound. Like, this was back when I was like, I remember listening to Writing on the Walls at Scout Camp at Camp Barry, where they had that computer lab, and like I had just no sense of like public space or anything, and I was listening to that on the speakers in front of like everyone that was in there, like trying to check their emails and everything.
Rob, just relax.
I know. I was like, cool,
you're such
cool
a douche.
screamo music. Yeah, looking back,
everyone in here thinks I'm
cringy.
So bad.
Yeah, horrendously cringy. But that song has been planted in my head ever since then. So like, I was excited to see it, but this song was the super sacrilegious song. There was one line in the screaming, and it sounded like it was Under Oath doing the screaming, but there was one line that I'm just not even gonna repeat. But it was pretty bad that I'm not gonna repeat it. So that's all I had to say about that song.
Yeah,
what did you have to say about it?
Spotify wasn't letting me like read the lyrics with a lot of these songs, and that's kind of what I used to read.
Yeah, that was
I'll
one
be
of
honest,
them.
I didn't.
Yep.
I didn't read through the lyrics of this one.
Probably because even Spotify was like, "Whoa, man, tap the brakes."
Yeah, maybe honestly, because they let me read it on other songs on the playlist. But yeah, this one I was like, "Oh, Under Oath partnering up." I literally had the same thought. I'm like, "This is gonna rock out," and then I'm like, "Yeah, this song sucked." I didn't think it was good.
Unfortunately I did like it the first time, and then I heard the line that I saw from the advertising. I was like, there it is. I was enjoying the song a little bit up until that point.
I didn't even like see any advertisements for this or anything like that, so I didn't even know. So
yeah,
I'm glad I said that it was one of my least favorite songs. So yeah, good job, Steven.
You're still on the right path then.
I'm a warrior, baby. All right. Well, we'll get past that real quick then.
To be honest, that was like really the worst that it gets. Like, there wasn't really anything horribly anti-religious other than that one line. So I don't think there's anything too much to say about the rest of these songs, at least as far as that goes.
So the next song then, OST Spiritual. Did you even really have any notes on this?
Oh, is that one of the interludes?
Yeah.
I don't. I said, I didn't take any notes on those.
This one, they have a pentagram being drawn in the background. You know how Spotify has like those short videos playing now instead of cover.
Yeah, I turned that feature off.
Oh,
I turned it off the very first time they added it. I was like, this is obnoxious.
I didn't even realize you could turn it off. At this point, I'm used to it, but I do still hate it. Well, yeah, I didn't really have any notes. I wrote, am I supposed to have notes on this? It's got like a little wubby bass drop that hits at 1:28, minute 28, but
yeah, see, like I skipped through to kind of like see if they started singing. Like, I'd skip a couple seconds at a time to see if there was ever any singing, but there never was. So I was like, nah, not adding this one to the library, especially not with a pentagram.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Nah, brother. Well, I guess that brings us to NA/not available. Or, how did you like this one?
Narcotics Anonymous, because
Rob.
he starts out singing about, hey, my name's Ollie and I'm an addict. So the whole song, and he was addicted to narcotics for a while. So that was my first thought. I was like, it's just a kind of like an untitled track, but it has a double meaning. Yeah, but I liked the intro had like an acoustic intro. It was like a nice gentle. It almost sounded kind of like a pop punk sound, almost like All Time Low kind of a little bit.
That's like, what I said.
Yeah, it rang an All Time Low bell in my head for some reason.
Yeah, I just like it starts off more pop punky. Like as you get into it, it loses that pop feel. But that's what I was thinking. Is like as far as any song on this album goes, this is the most pop punk.
Yeah.
But I still like the song though. It was I thought the line where it says "make love to a chainsaw," I was like, what?
Yeah. I had the same one. I had the same thought. Think I want to get fucked, make love to a chainsaw. I was like, that's really intense, but I like that line.
Yeah. I thought the song was pretty good though. They have like this this is another one of those songs, like at the 2-minute 15-second mark, you hear like this like random gravelly voice they try like forcing into a song that is, like we said, somewhat pop punky. Just like it felt just catches you off guard, and you're like, why is that in here? It's like like they let their kid come in and you get to push one button that makes a sound. So that's what I feel
they were
like
probably
happens
like,
in a
this
couple of
is
these songs.
not screamy enough. You're getting a little too gentle here. Let's throw the demon voice in for fun.
Yeah. So overall, though, I mean, if you're listening to Bring Me the Horizon for their heavy stuff, this is not going to be the song for you.
Yeah, it's not for you. Sorry, old school Bring Me the Horizon fans.
Yeah. Get wrecked. Well, but
Go make love to a chainsaw.
I'm a bit of a softie, I guess, more when it comes to music, like it, because like I said, don't really like the screamy. So I don't know. I like my instrumentals to be really heavy. Like I like when they just start shredding it on the guitar. But I don't.
See, that's where we separate, because I don't mind the screamy. I like the emotion it adds.
Yeah, I know. That's where our paths started to diverge, man.
Yep.
When you started trending more towards that vile sound.
Wait, like I said a couple rounds ago, once again in Music League, bro, at this point, we bring it up so often on this show, whoever invented that app needs to sponsor us. But
dude, yeah.
At one point in Music League, someone played Jekyll and Hyde by Five Finger Death Punch. I'm like, oh, careful now, it's a slippery slope. This is like one of the 3 songs I can actually point to that got me into like really heavy music.
Yeah.
And I know people would make fun of me for calling Five Finger Death Punch heavy, but back then, for what I was listening to back then, it was heavy.
Oh yeah, that's definitely like I see Five Finger Death Punch get made fun of.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
But
yeah, so that but that is kind of like the gateway for me too. Like I have a couple of their songs saved, and I'll ignore them. And Dance Gavin Dance, I have a couple of their songs saved.
Oh yeah, they're heavy, dude. They're almost too heavy.
Well, we went and saw. They were at Warped Tour that 2017.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I'll give their music a listen, just because there were not, like, I remember that lineup being pretty disappointing for me.
Yeah, that was not a great lineup.
Like there were like 2 or 3 bands where I was like, yes, this is gonna be sick. And then there were a couple other bands that I got into but randomly weren't there that day. So there were songs like that, or bands like Dance Gavin Dance, where I'm like, well, might as well. I recognize them. I'll listen to their music.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like Dance Gavin Dance. I like them a lot.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't call them heavy. Just because they scream doesn't make them heavy.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, that brings us into a song called. Is it just called? I just wrote down Lost, but I feel
Lost.
It is called Lost. Okay.
So this is one of their singles that they released a couple of years ago now, like 2 years ago probably. Like
really?
Well, their last album came out in 2020, and they've been releasing singles since then. So, because I've liked this song for a long time.
Yeah, this was another song that I put like towards the top of my list, because I think you mentioned about how the song is a lot about depression and everything. And I felt like this is like one of those really relatable songs for that. Like the lyrics were really good. Like musically, like instrumentals, I really liked the song. I liked the line that I like though, that I feel like I could use regularly, is "My ego is not my amigo." I liked.
Oh, is that the lyric? My ego is not my. That's awesome. I thought it was "My ego is not my own ego." I do like that.
My ego is not my amigo.
Is not my amigo. That's awesome.
And I've been doing my Duolingo lessons for about half a year now, and amigo translates to friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's really all starting to come together.
Yeah, you have to be really smart to figure that one out, but that's what it means. But yeah, I thought that was my ego is not my amigo. I'm going to just use that in my life now. I think it's great.
My ego is not my amigo. That's funny.
But I like there's like the section where it's like, I think I'm gonna break down, and then it just hits like a nice guitar riff. Yeah.
Dude, I love that breakdown. I posted that one on my Instagram story a while back. Like, I don't know if you remember when I was like, last time I went through a metalcore kick, I posted like 4 or 5 songs in a row, and that was one of them.
Yes, I do remember
with that breakdown. But yeah, and this is one of those songs that has a lot of hyperpop mixed in, like the intro there, and then the breakdown is mixed in with hyperpop, and that breakdown just goes so hard. I love it.
If I see someone posting on Instagram that's like posting their music listens, and if it's like a band, like if someone's posting like, oh, I'm like, look how cool I am listening to music, and it's like from Taylor Swift's new album or something, then I'm like, I'm not gonna click on that and listen. I know that sucks. But if it's like you're listening to someone I know that has better music taste, or it's a band I don't really recognize and I feel like could be, sometimes you just get a vibe, you know, you look at the cover art or something, you're like, this could be it. Like, I have found songs based off cover art where I'm like, that song could be good, and I'll click on it, and that was good.
Yeah, I've done that.
But so I'll click on your music stuff, and there's a guy I went to that I met in college. He'll post. I bet you and him have some really similar music tastes with like the heavier rock. Definitely,
dude. We should get him on. We should get him on the show.
Yeah, dude.
First guest appearance, dude.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember his name. It's just when I see his, I think it's his Snapchat actually. So honestly, I probably don't even see his that much anymore. But I remember like when I was on Snapchat during college, because that's how a lot of people would talk. I would click on his stories because he was always posting his music. And I was like, not bad, man. I respect the hustle. But anyways.
But yeah, Lost, I think I'd put Lost in my top 3 for this album. Just because I think that came out 2 years ago. I've been jamming it ever since it came out. So
yeah, that's probably number 2 for me, if we're being honest.
Next up would be Strangers, was another single.
Oh.
How'd you like this one?
Yeah, so like how they're singing, it's like really catchy to listen to. Like I like the ending a lot. So I was like, that song's pretty average. But right before we recorded, I was listening to one more time while doing the dishes, and this song came up, and I was like, this song's actually pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay, good. I was gonna say, because I was actually before we decided to make this our topic, I probably would have recommended this as my song at the end. This was probably gonna be my song, but this was definitely my favorite off this album, because this was a single, and this one came out like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. Like I said, they've been slowly trickling out singles for the last couple of years.
What a tease! Bring Me the Horizons. They're such teases.
Oh, yeah, dude. They like I said, this song has been out for a few years, and I know I'd heard it several times over that course of time, but it recently, like a couple weeks ago, just came back up on like my Spotify DJ or something. It came back up, and I was like, wow, that song is really, really good. And I added it to my library right then and there, and this one's definitely my favorite on the album.
Nice.
I like the message all about, like, you know, feeling alone, even though you're in like a room full of people, like you're with people, and you've got people all around you and people you can talk to, blah blah blah, but you still feel all alone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then just the melody of the chorus, and I really like Ollie's voice too. Like, he has a great voice for the type of music they make, so it all just
he does.
meshes together quite nicely.
The voice, like, singer's voice can get me into like even like styles of music where I'm like, this isn't even normally the music I like, but if like their voice has like that certain style, it just makes a song so much better. And he definitely has. He definitely
just has to click
voice.
Once, and then you're like, ooh, all right, I'm hooked.
Yeah. Oh my, oh heavens, you got me melting with your voice. But yeah, so,
that was my favorite on the album. So,
yeah, that would probably be, I guess. I would have to say that must be my number 3 then. I'm looking at my rankings. Yeah, that's my number 3, so solid pick. All right, so we're linking up a little bit here.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
With our rankings. So, all right, the next one is R.I.P.
Duskcore Remix.
Duskcore Remix.
So I was kind of worried about this one since it said Duskcore Remix, because have you ever heard of like Nightcore?
Yeah,
like
I guess.
it's like it's like this. It's what this song sounded like. It's like metal for weebs that like anime and like
Yeah,
electronic music and like bubbly. I don't know.
yeah.
Bubble pop
I
pops into my head, but like music like that. But they want to listen to metal, and that's what Nightcore is.
okay.
And so I had my doubts about this song. I didn't have a whole lot to say, but it did end up being kind of a banger. Like it did
Yeah,
rock out pretty good.
like it's. I thought the song like it rocked out pretty good, but it's just not my kind of music. But like that intro, I loved the intro music. It was like, oh, all right, this will be cool. But I thought the lyrics were kind of lame. Like
Yeah,
I don't know. I just felt like it was just. Dang it. Spotify's not letting me pull up the lyrics. I should have written down what they say at the very beginning, but it just, I know it was something like, did my back hurt your knife? It just sounded like someone, like some kid who's in a fight with his 16-year-old friend,
yeah,
you know? I don't know. Not my favorite, but it really is kind of a different sound to the rest of the album anyway, so. Not
yeah.
exactly what I would expect.
It was definitely a lot more of an electronic sound.
Yeah, like which we said, like you said, they have that throughout this album, and they've
Yeah.
used that consistently through several albums. But this one is like all
This one,
that sound.
yeah, leaned into it for the whole song.
Yeah. So I don't know, kind of mid for old Steve-O-Roni soup here.
Agreed.
Okay, good. Next one was Amen. Was this one of your favorites?
It was not.
Okay, good. I said this was my least favorite. So.
Yeah, this one was another one of the singles. It came out like last year, and I remember when it popped up in my Discover Weekly, I was like, "Oh, cool, new Bring Me the Horizon," and then the song started playing. I was like, "Ew, this sucks."
Yeah.
But I really like the breakdown when it's like, "Just let me suffer, just let me breathe." That breakdown's pretty solid, but the rest of the song was not worth enjoying.
I'm kind of surprised that this is one of their singles, because when a band, releases the singles, I feel like they typically like opt for the
it's supposed to be the
pleasers.
good stuff. Yeah.
And like the ones that are going to get the most people to listen to it. So this is I mean, I know it's not my type of music, but I'm confident that this is not much of a crowd pleaser either. So
yeah. And I mean, obviously Lil Uzi Vert's an absolute weirdo nowadays. Like he's just the strangest person on planet Earth. But it also had Glassjaw on it, which gave me kind of high hopes when I first saw their name back then. But I don't listen to a whole lot of Glassjaw, but I know that they can shred.
Yeah, I didn't. What was Lil Uzi's?
I think he did the rap on like the second verse, or like whenever the rapping, there's like a short little rap to this song. But
I think I kind of missed it because I listened to this song once. I'm like, that sucked, and I wanted to put Lil Uzi Vert on blast because I don't like him, but I'm like, I don't even know. I don't want to roast him, even though I don't even know what he said or what he did in this song. But I didn't really like the song, so I didn't feel the need to listen to it anymore after I took my notes, because I didn't realize Lil Uzi was on it when I was listening to it until I sat down to take notes on the songs. So
he used to be the guy for like underground like gangster rap, and now he is a strange character.
Yeah, this song also had like that. I hear this all the time in different songs where it has like that half screaming with no music really in the background. It just sounds like they're like outside yelling at someone's window. I've never liked that at all. It's just always sounds so weird to hear someone doing like that kind of screaming with no. I mean, it has kind of sound behind the screaming part, but not really. I've always thought that was a really strange sound. Just someone kind of. It's like screaming, but then they also get into like yelling and not really screaming. I'm like, what are you doing right now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Never been a fan of that style, and they have a section of that in this song, so I'm like,
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to...
We are cruising through this album, by the way. We got two left.
And which honestly, I'm kind of surprised at, because, like I said, overall, I did like the album.
Yeah.
I feel like we've just agreed on a lot of the songs, and it hasn't garnered as much conversation.
I guess that's true.
So this one is Puss-E. I don't know what that is.
I don't know
Rob.
what that
does
spells.
mean?
I don't know. I've never heard of that before.
So I believe the song's title is Pusse.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
Did you take notes on this? This is like kind of one of those.
Nope.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess we had 3 left, but no, I did not take notes on this.
My note was this was super random on this album. Like, I know they, like, with the Nightcore one, they had, what was that? Was that R.I.P. was the Nightcore one? Whoops.
Yeah, R.I.P. Duskcore.
Yeah. The Duskcore, that's right.
Duskcore.
Yeah, so that, I know that, like we said, they have some of that electro nightclubby kind of sound. I don't know. And that's what this is it's kind of like that. I can't say for sure nightclub. Like, I say this all the time. I'm so terrible at picking out genres. Like, what, listening to a song, I'm like, what genre
I'm just going to take your word for it because I really didn't even listen to it. So whatever you say it is, that's what it is.
So this was very evangelical, and I think this is where they converted to Christianity. So
I'm
just kidding.
What a plot twist.
No, so like I have the videos playing in the background, right? And this whole video that is playing in this is like pills and like someone doing drugs kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this song is. So my note was, if this was someone's style of music, then they might like it. But I'm not high on pills in a European nightclub, so it wasn't my favorite.
That's really meant for a specific lifestyle.
Yeah, it was.
I think.
I don't know.
If we really want to have a good podcast, we kind of have to immerse ourselves in that kind of lifestyle. So next time, I'm going to travel.
Okay.
Next time they come out with an album, I'm traveling to Europe. I'm going to bring a whole bunch of narcotics with me, and I'm just going to take as many as my body will let me in a club.
Yeah,
and then I'll be like, this song, dude.
Yeah. And then we'll do the podcast. Like, we'll just go on a bender until, you'll go on a bender.
While I'm rolling in the middle of a nightclub, just barely able to form words. It's going to be a good one.
And so, yeah, I think that's what's going to make us go big, dude. We're going to have to totally commit to that. And so from after that point, all of our podcasts, we're just going to have to be just absolutely wrecked on
on a real note,
painkillers.
On a real note, I think we for when we go to that Sum 41 concert, we should try to like at least make a reel out of it. Like take a lot of videos and make a reel out because it's Sum 41's last concert, and like we're both going plus company, so it's going to be.
I wanted to do that at the Newfound Glory concert. I need to pad out our content a bit. Like I said, like I've been saying, I'm totally going to do that. Now I'm feeling confident.
On Friday, I'm getting a new phone,
so it flows in. Yeah, exactly. I got that.
Yeah, I'm getting the
4K.
Pixel 8 Pro with that banger of a camera, so it's gonna be like crispy, clean video content.
You just got a new phone, you said?
On Friday, I will.
Oh, nice. I don't have the newest iPhone. I have, because literally,
but it's still
I'm so mad.
Still a good camera.
I got the iPhone 14, and like 2 weeks later, they're like, iPhone 15's coming out with USB-C charging. I'm like, fantastic. Stuck with that idiot iPhone charger still. Anyways, I hate iPhone anyways, but at least I've got a good camera, even though most phones have good cameras now. So,
but yeah, that one reel, that like 30-second video is going to be a banger.
Yes, sir. All right. Moving on, sliding on in, real slippery on into Die For You, right? Yeah. Yep. So, what were your thoughts on this one?
Dude, when he started singing, like, at the start of the song, like, his voice kind of reminded me of, like, those emo SoundCloud rappers, like, Triple X, I always pronounce his name wrong, Triple X Tentacion, I think.
I always just
or
read
like
it
Juice
as
WRLD
XXX Tenacion. I don't know.
Well, that guy. Or Juice WRLD, like, those kind of guys, that's what his voice, like, immediately, I was like, I don't even listen to them, and that's what it made me think of. And then when he first hits that scream with You, when the instrumentals first hit, that was really cool. I like that.
Yeah. Literally, dude, that's funny because I've got the song playing in the background right now as you're talking, and literally right as you went, yeah, he hit me, yeah. That was weird.
Me and him were in sync, dude, at all times.
Yeah.
Not all times. Wait, hold on. I retract that because of previous statements. But currently.
Okay, because I was going to ask if you were Mr. Bring Me the Horizon.
My friends just call me Bring.
Those closest to you are Bring Me the. Good old Bring Me the.
Yeah, I kind of like this one. I like the message is about being kind of like being on the edge in an already bad relationship with someone that you do love, but you know you shouldn't.
Yeah,
and knowing that you'd still die for them just because like you love them, but you shouldn't, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was like. I'm listening to the song. I'm like reading through the lyrics. And I was like, this guy's like, I don't know how to feel. Like, does he want to die? Is he in love? It was definitely like in a bad relationship, and he wants to, because he has the one where it's like, just pull the trigger, like it got the gun to his head, pull the trigger kind of thing.
And then so, he says pull the trigger, and it bridges into that, or it goes into that bridge with another short little solo. But I like that part too.
But so, yeah, I think it was a very good song. Like, musically, lyrics, I thought overall it was a good song. But I guess it might make it into that top 5 for me, I suppose.
Maybe not for me, but I did like it. I did like the song.
I didn't really rank my top 5. I didn't rank these in order. That seemed like too much work. So I didn't. But yeah, so I guess powerful stuff. But that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, that's all I had.
All right,
and now on to the last song. Dig It. Bring Me the Horizon.
Not really, actually. I thought the song was okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot to say about this. Just it was a slowed down song. It was definitely very sad. The lyrics were pretty sad, but the song was slower and softer a little bit compared to the rest of the album. It was a good outro as far as album composition goes, but I didn't have a whole lot to say about it.
Well, it's a 7-minute song.
Yeah,
and
the last minute is just silence.
A minute and a half. There's over 90 seconds of no sound. Because I literally was like, when I was giving this a final, like one of the last times I listened to this song, I was working, so I thought the song ended. I was like, oh, I'm in the middle of something, I'm moving, and then all of a sudden, it just like starts making sound again. I was like, wait,
yeah,
the song was happening that whole time? Yep. Minute and a half. I went through back to where it was silent, and I cranked the volume up on my earbuds, really risking it, but I'm like, is there something happening?
They punked you real good.
Yeah. Minute and a half of silence, and then just some weird little, if you're listening to this, plug me in and restart me or whatever, and I don't know, it was weird random ending. It's hard to make.
Hard to make what?
I was gonna say, it's hard to make like these long, like 7-minute songs good the whole time. So if I may diverge into Music League yet again, me and you both have been in the 2 different music leagues, and both of them have had over 6 or 7-minute songs. So like I've listened to like those playlists, and the one music league was pretty big when we had that. So it was like 13 or 14, 7, 8, 9-minute songs, and I didn't really like most of them. I was just like, it's hard to make a song that good. A lot of times it feels like they're just like, the band is just like, hey, drummer, do you want to noodle around for a little bit? And it's like, yeah. And then it's like, hey, bass guitarist, do you want to noodle around? It's just them kind of like jamming together, which, is cool, but also like boring for me.
I don't know. So. Counterpoint. It's not hard to make a good 7-minute song. There's a lot of good, like, as you know, I'm a bit of a psychedelic rock fan, so Pink Floyd has a lot of great, really long songs, but you do have to be able to enjoy a song for 7 minutes. The Gen Z mind cannot comprehend.
Yeah.
There's no tempo run or anything going on underneath the song, so they lose interest real quick, but it's not hard to make a long song good. But yeah, you can't make a long song good by adding a minute and a half of silence.
I think if I was doing something during those 7-minute songs, so like I remember what I was doing both times that I was doing those playlists in the 2 different leagues. I was always driving, listening to that playlist. So I'm like when you get to that filler where it's just kind of like chill guitar sound, I'm like, I don't want to listen to this. I want to be jamming. So I don't know. So it's tough
That's
to
fair.
listen to them when you're driving, I guess. Because I
That's fair.
have a couple saved too that I
Yeah.
like, but I feel like generally they kind of get boring for me. I do have it. I
Well-
am technically Gen Z, depending on who you ask. I'm either Gen
As
Z
a
or
lover
end
of the
millennial.
arts and a lover of music, I can appreciate a well done 7+ minute song.
And as a
But that's
hater
just
of
me.
the arts,
Yeah.
as an absolute enemy of the arts, I say good riddance. All songs should be the max length of a TikTok, whatever. Well, actually, aren't they long? I don't know how long TikToks can be.
There are some long ones, yes.
Because they'll put like half episodes of that. That's what I used to see that all the time, like half episodes of Shameless all the time.
Really?
Yeah, like because I'm never on TikTok, but for like work, I'll get on it for posting for people, and that'll be like the first thing that pops up. I'm like, this is like a 10-minute video. What the heck? So, anyways, another random sidetrack, but I don't know. Yeah, that song, dig it. I cannot, and I am sorry.
Not quite diggable enough.
I can rake it, like take the top layer off, but I'm
Yeah.
not into it enough to get a full shovel, much less rent a backhoe to dig this song.
Beautiful analogy.
Truly. Yeah. Yeah, see, I am the artist. They should hire me for their music. I'll slip in a bunch of pro-Christian themes into their music. I'm a spy.
And then you go on tour together. It's a battle of
Yeah.
the forces out there.
Exactly. Like that. What's that from Workaholics, the strongmen,
Oh gosh, yeah.
those guys. It'd be like
Yeah.
That's an interesting episode. Anyways, I won't dig into that episode.
Yeah, that one also gets skipped quite often.
Yeah. But yeah, so there you have it. Overall vibes of the playlist. Of the album. I like the album. I definitely put Utopia as my favorite song. But it has there's a lot of really good songs, and if you like that heavier guitar stuff, this is definitely a good album for that because they had a lot of good riffs.
Yeah. There's, like I said, there's stuff for old and new fans of Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Hot takes. I don't know what that sounds. Hot takes.
I'd rate it a solid 7 out of 10 Toots. Probably should be lower just because of everything I've said, but I'd say 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think it'd sit at a solid 6 out of 10, which I get is close to average if you count 5 out of 10 as an average. But like I said, I'm not a fan of screaming, and then it felt like there were a couple times where they just kind of like force-fed it into the song when it really didn't fit, and I feel like most people would agree. Why did that random guy just go in the middle of a chorus? But so that's what knocks it down to a 6. There's definitely a lot of 8 out of 10 songs on it, several 8 out of 10 songs, but you really got to please me to get that 10 out of 10. So
Exactly.
maybe if they went to church with me,
Just float the idea out there.
if they want clout from We Don't Know Toots podcast,
Yeah, they got to put in the work.
Yeah, they've got to talk to the Lord for that. So, anyways, well, Rob, do you have your suggestion? Because I have my suggestion.
I do have a suggestion. All right. So like I said, originally, before this was the topic, I was going to recommend Strangers because it was a banger. But one that I've had on repeat a little longer than that is, and I was debating about this all day, whether I want to tell you this or not, because I was thinking about saving it for the your current jam round of our game, but that's like 2 weeks away, and I'm sure by then I'll find something else that I'm really jamming. And also I've name dropped this band in the past in the league. But Frozen by Rain City Drive, I feel like if I were to submit that, you would probably be like the top voter for it because I think you would really like the song. But Frozen by Rain City Drive, they used to be Slaves, but they're Rain City Drive now.
I feel like I'm looking up Rain City Drive because I feel like I've listened to them. Rain City Drive. Let's see here. I want to see like what their album artwork is and everything. Oh yeah, dude. Well, I have one of their songs saved in.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of trying to find a good time to play it.
Was it Talk to a Friend? That's the one that introduced me to them.
Yes. That's the one I've got.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a good song.
It's a good song. I
haven't gone through and given them a listen. Maybe I'll add them to my list of people that I need to give a listen to.
But yeah, Frozen. Frozen is a great one.
Nice. All right, I'll give that a listen. As for me, speaking of bands I need to go through and give a listen to, I've been I keep consistently saving Highly Suspect songs by the band Highly Suspect.
Yep.
Not like weird songs. So the band Highly Suspect, I played this in a music league. I think I played it in our current jam, like of this round, Little One, because I was struggling. I was struggling to pick which Highly Suspect song I wanted to play, but Little One, I like that song a lot. Like it's got a kind of like that. I don't know how to describe, like more like dreamy, ethereal bits, and then it'll just be going to like ripping on a guitar. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Highly Suspect shreds.
Yeah, so I've been really getting into there, and I've had several other songs saved for like rounds that I think could pop up, so I don't want to use them for the free parking ones. But yeah, Little One by Highly Suspect.
All right, well there you go, folks. We got an Eminem song for you. We got a Bring Me the Horizon album for you, and we got 2 hot Toots that you guys should definitely be checking out. And tell us how you feel about them in the comments.
Alrighty. Thank you all for tuning with us. We'll see y'all next week. No, that's not true.
Eventually.
We know that's not true.
That's optimistic.
We'll see y'all next time.
Next time.
We Don't Know Toots 101.5, The Tutor.